Welcome back. It's still Breakfast Daily right here on Citi TV. Do not forget that you can communicate with us. You can join the conversation. Use the WhatsApp line 0550-585-832. And of course, if you do not live in Ghana but you still want to join the conversation, use the country code +233. And if social media is your space, then use the hashtag Breakfast Daily, of course, to stay interactive with us. Now, we're going to get into some more community conversations here on Breakfast Daily. There's a situation in Bimbilla. Now, Bimbilla is a community within the northern region of Ghana. It's one of the 16 regions of the country. Now, the residents there are complaining of the high costs of food. In every part of the world, and Ghana is no different, Bimbilla is no different, the northern region as a whole is no different. There are certain foods, certain meals that are considered your base meals. So if you can't afford anything at all,
at least the base.
You don't get anything at all, at least the base meal you should be able to afford. Cocoa is one of those. Porridge, the way we make it with our millet, with our corn, these are things that we should be able to afford regardless of what the economic situation or our financial situation in our pockets looks like. But here's the case up in Bimbilla, David. Up in Bimbilla, things have become so bad that the cost of porridge has become a cause for concern for residents there. Now, it may not seem like a big deal for a lot of people, but we're talking about a space where if you should give someone 50 cedis or 30 cedis, you've given them a Christmas, an early Christmas.
It's a big deal.
You know, unfortunately, this is a space where there is a lot of poverty, and so your porridge cannot be expensive. You are basically telling people that you cannot eat if the porridge reaches a certain level in terms of cost. And so there's a report that has been done by, of course, Mohammed Aminu Alabira. He is our northern regional correspondent for Citi News. Let's take a look at this report, and when we come back, hopefully you would have understood what we're talking about here.
As prices of fuel continue to rise, coupled with the depreciation, it has become abundantly clear that all aspects of the economy has been affected. Porridge, which is usually the last resort for persons who are hard hit, has also now seen an increase in the price. Usually, with 20 pesos or 50 pesos, one could buy porridge with sugar, but now that can no longer hold. Porridge no longer sells for 1 cedi with sugar in Bimbilla in the Nanumba North municipality. For porridge and sugar, it is now at 1 cedi, 50 pesos and above. Some customers who usually patronize it say the government must do something to ameliorate the sufferings in the country. Citi News interacted with some customers of porridge in Bimbilla, and they have been sharing their frustrations with Citi News.
Now the porridge is very, very expensive. Like formerly, when you buy 1 cedi, you can share it with your brother, but now very, very expensive.
How expensive it is?
Now, formerly we were buying 50 pesos, but now 1 cedi.
Women who sell porridge attribute the situation to high cost of commodities like maize, millet, guinea corn, and sugar. Some of the sellers have been speaking to Citi News.
One cedi is 50 pesos, not 2 cedi. Abrona yesika na sugar swa yesika. The rubber no editor and no crack a hosika. Yentimi to bibia no boy di wokotwa yesi kasika atoso. Nema sukura boy enam boy sukura. Ye no one city as kana so. This is 1 city 50 pesos need to.
Students who usually buy it after school tell Citi News they are now finding it difficult to buy because the chop money their parents give them is not enough.
Coco Lamblanc or Coco 1 city demonstrated 1 city 50 pesos and 2 city.
So, okay.
Imenye shukuru.
Katmenye shukuru tika na shukuru.
La diraba parla.
La diraba parla.
Now the quantity is low. They say that the inflation now is too high.
Okay.
So the quantity is high. Now when you buy porridge 1 city, it's smaller. The quantity is small.
And that was a report that was filed by our colleague, Mohammed Aminu Alabira, and of course, he's our Northern Regional Correspondent for Citi News. David, so, a lot of people will be saying, oh, but it's 1 city, it's 1 city. There are people in different parts of the country, especially in the southern parts and the cities, that may not see it as a big deal. But 1 city, 1 city, 1 city, 1 city, 1 city gives you what, 5 cities? It adds up.
Yeah.
And, there's a significance of trading with coins. Yes, we have a 1 city coin, but a lot of the time you think of 1 city, you think of the red paper note, right? Now, once you move beyond the coin stage and you are dealing with paper money, there's some level of, how should I put it? It's almost as though now the legal tender they are dealing with, the money you're dealing with, is a little more advanced, which means that you've entered more expensive realms. Coins are meant for things that are easy to access. And they are significant and symbolic for how easily accessible certain things are, financially speaking, in our society, right? So if you can no longer buy cocoa for 50 pesos, 70, or let's even say 90 pesos, because that's still beneath a 1 city note. And now you've reached 1 city. And it's cocoa without sugar or milk.
Yeah.
You haven't even added the sugar, you haven't even let alone kose or whatever it is. That's a problem. And our cocoa, our porridges, so for those who don't know what cocoa is, I'm using the terms porridge and cocoa interchangeably. Locally speaking, in our Ghanaian parlance, we typically call porridge cocoa. Okay, so it's difficult. It's difficult, and you can feel the frustration of the people, right? And these porridges are made from millet, guinea corn, maize, things that even the people in Bimbilla up there grow around them. Bimbilla is still around the bread basket of the country. A lot of farming happens there. So if even there we are struggling, then you should know how the ripple effect of fuel costs and all these things have come to affect something as simple and as basic as porridge. But we have Alabira on the line. Good morning. Hi, good morning. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing well. Good morning.
Good. Have you had your porridge this morning?
Not yet.
So talk to us. Now we are looking at, so when they say that cocoa or porridge has become 1 city, what does that mean? How much can you get? Just try to describe it for us, paint a picture for us if you were to buy 1 city of porridge.
Thank you. Cocoa is usually taken among people here, just as tea or coffee is taken among people down south. Here, every family, every morning, children especially will have to take porridge going to school or doing any other. Even if a family member is sick, we say sometimes they call it going direct. They will have to take porridge before. So porridge is a very important meal for people here in the morning. The price of cocoa has gone so high. Previously, with little as 50 pesos, you could buy porridge with sugar and things. But now, 1 cedi, now you will not get cocoa with sugar. And my interaction with the sellers say they have attributed that to the high cost of the ingredients. Like you mentioned maize, millet, unicorn, and then sugar itself. All these things, the prices have gone up. In Bimbilla, currently, this is a rainy season. People harvest maize and things, but the price of a bowl of maize has not come down. A bowl of maize is sold at 7 Ghana cedis in Bimbilla here. Millet, this time you won't get millet. The new ones have not come out, so except those that were harvested last year, those that you can get now. So a bowl of millet is sold in Bimbilla for 18 Ghana cedis.
Wow.
18 Ghana cities.
18 Ghana cedis for maize, for millet. Guinea corn is 17 Ghana cedis. And guinea corn and maize, millet is the same thing. This time, this season as we are, you won't get new ones. All what they are using now is the one that was harvested last year. That is what is being sold now. And a bowl of 4 alonka of sugar is sold at 27 Ghana cedis in Bimbilla here.
1 olonka of sugar.
Yes, 1 olonka. Yes, of
27
sugar.
Ghana cities.
27 Ghana cedis in Bimbilla here. Yes. Then firewood, the rubber that they will fetch the porridge in, water that they use to prepare, the cocoa goes with some ingredients like pepper and things. So all these things, the sellers calculate it and said, no, it's just, and all that profit and the money that they've used to prepare it will all come from the porridge. They said, no, they can no longer sell porridge for 1 cedi, 1 cedi for porridge and sugar. So they have also increased to 1 cedi, 50 pesos. They say maybe if that is done, they will be able to get to also make something for their families.
So, Alabira, if you take 1 cedi of cocoa without sugar, how many people can that feed approximately? As per the average family, if you were to look at that, looking at how it is served, how it is fetched, or calculated, how many people can it feed?
Yes. Usually here in the morning, you will see families going to buy porridge with the alonka bowls. That is what they use to. Here we call it cocoa purga. That is a bowl of cocoa. That is why we call it here in the north. So usually with 1 cedi, previously you go and buy cocoa with that and it will be full. But now, 1 cedi, if you see it in the rubber, matter, even one person will not be satisfied.
Wow.
It's a very serious
Wow.
situation.
So if you have
in the video, you would have seen the woman showing me cocoa in the rubber.
yes.
That's 1 cedi without sugar.
So if you want to buy cocoa for, say, a family of 5, let's say there are 2 parents and 3 children, right? Just hypothetically speaking, that means you need to do maybe cocoa itself, 1 cedi, 50 pesos for each person, right?
Yes.
Before you now add sugar, maybe 50 pesos. So 2 times 5, that's 10 cedis already, before you even think about milk or anything else, kose or anything else, bread, anything else you want to add.
And you are talking about milk. Is the affluent person like people like you who take porridge with milk? Yeah, hey, to take even tea. People don't take tea with milk. Yeah.
Well, I don't either, so we are in the same boat. Unless, of course, it's creamy plus.
That is it. Hey, for someone to take porridge with milk and sugar, hey, then the person might be coming from somewhere.
We need to send you some creamy plus so that you use it to balance the porridge equation. No, but it's a very serious situation. And
seriously,
I'm just thinking the school children, the students that you spoke to, usually your parents are not going to give you money to just go and spend anyhow. I imagine that some of them may either take the porridge and not eat again during the day, or they won't eat breakfast and then they'll find use for their money later on in the day. And that's problematic for a young mind that has to learn.
Yeah, thank you, Aja. Previously, here up north, families used to cook lunch for the whole family. But these days, there's no single family up here that cooks lunch for the family.
Wow.
Children are usually given money to go to school. The chop money that they give when they go to school, they will maybe spend the money and do something. In the afternoon, cocoa is lunch for many families here. But now that the children that I spoke to, they were telling me the chop money their parents give them are not enough for them to even send in school, let alone do something for them. Is something here. Usually in the afternoon, some people take porridge as a last resort because they can't afford lunch that will cause them LCD or something. They will end up resorting to buying cocoa. But now the cocoa price too is also going high, so it's now difficult for them.
Wow, it's difficult. But are you? I mean, I know we've spoken about the cost of ingredients and all that being the problem. I mean, it's clear. We don't even need anyone to tell us. You can figure that out. But in terms of community leadership, governance within the community, has anybody said anything about it? Have they even noticed that this is what is happening? And I'm talking about the assembly, the DCEs, I mean, anybody who has some kind of community leadership role. Are they saying anything about it? Do they see that it's a problem?
Yes, thank you. They see it as a problem, but they also throw their hands in the air. What can they also do? That is the question they also ask me. And what can they also do? Because they don't determine the price of the commodities that are used in preparing this cocoa. So, and they cannot come and tell a porridge seller that, no, so they sell this, sell that. That is the authority, the MCE for the number North in particular. I call him and he has no control. He has no control over it. Yeah. That is the problem. Everybody does what they like, and is people like me who are suffering here.
You there will send you some sugar and creamy plus. I've told you your own will send you some. No, but it's a problem. It's very sad. Today is the 13th of October. For some years now, we've been celebrating or commemorating World Food Day on the 16th of October. And over the years, you know, narratives have come out about how many gains Ghana has made in terms of food security. And it's just sad that 3 days to World Food Day 2022, we are having this conversation. That something as basic as cocoa, as porridge, is becoming a problem for the average Ghanaian family. It's very sad. It's very sad.
Yeah. The way things are going, seriously, like the last time I was telling you, here in Bimbilla, jam, 3 jams, 14 cities at this season. Things are not well.
Yeah.
Things are not well.
Okay. Abria, thank you so much, and we'll send your creamy plus to you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
So we've been speaking to our colleague Mohammed Amin Al-Abir. He is our Northern Regional Correspondent, Citi News. David.
Yeah, well, you know what? I just looking at this article here on citynewsroom.com. It says here, the title is Ghanaians to pay more for goods, services as inflation hits 37.2% in September. So this was about a few weeks ago that we hit the 37.2% mark. Ghanaians have no choice but to pay more for goods and services as the country's inflation rate keeps soaring. There is currently no end in sight with the inflation rate, which keeps defying measures put in place by government. The rate has moved from 33.9% in August 2022 to 37.2% in September 2022.
Almost a 4% increment.
In a month.
In a month.
In a month, 4 weeks. So this new figure was released by the Ghana Statistical Service on October 12th. So that's the story there. You see that the inflation across all sectors of the country, food basket, you know, where we fish from. It's like everything is
just rising,
climbing.
Yeah, steadily,
climbing.
And it's all adding up. So clearly, we have problems on multiple levels. It's a very complex situation. You know, the article says Ghanaians have no choice.
Yeah.
But what if you don't even have the choice to make? And I'm saying this in the context of the fact that people's incomes are not rising as prices are rising.
Yep.
Indeed, people are being laid off as prices are rising because employers are also struggling to keep people within their ship. I mean, some people, for some employers, it's the easy way. I can't pay you anymore. I like your work, but it's nothing personal. I just can't pay you. Bye-bye. Unless you want to work for free.
Yeah.
Some businesses have also said, it's too hard. Let me just take what I've gained, count my losses,
and walk away.
Shut the business.
Yeah.
Bye-bye. I can't do anything about it. Me too, I have to think about myself.
Yeah.
You know.
Let me give you the inflation rates region by region. These are the highest ones. Western region recorded the highest food inflation. That's 47%. That's crazy. Then the Eastern region, the highest non-food inflation, 42%. Eastern region recorded the overall highest inflation. That's a combination of food and non-food. That's 41%. Followed closely by Western region at 40.2%. The Greater Accra region is 39.3%. Yeah, and other sectors, it says here, transport is at 68.7%. So it looks like one of the biggest influences is this thing.
And I mean, it makes sense. All the conversations we've had in recent times, we've spoken about this. Even when we spoke to Alabira, was it last week or 2 weeks ago, still in Bimbilla, we were talking about some prices, and like he referenced, we spoke about the price of yam, how now 3 tubers of yam cost 20 cedis, when before you could get 5, 6, 7 pieces of yam, tubers of yam for 10 cedis or less, you know.
Exactly.
So, and again, transportation was something that came up. When we spoke about salt, and the issues with salt up north as well, this came up again. Remember, we spoke to one salt retailer who said she had actually paid for her consignments of salt, sent the money to Ada, but there was not even any salt to come. And then transportation was also an issue. So yes, inflation, and especially inflation, right? So just in simple terms, of course, it's quite a technical term and concept, but inflation basically means you have an unprecedented rise in prices, right? Basically. And so just the rise in cost of transportation alone will definitely cause some of these problems.
We have a porridge seller, Abibata AJ, on the line with us. Abibata, good morning.
Morning.
But you are pay Bibia Boko.
Bibia Boko.
Na you say cocoa prices are cost up na then I will cover home.
Me ka fa say ade amana cocoa no buana kwatu ye cocoa yama dia na ade no price na e dia yesia tuso ina nsuo no aye so ye no tuso nsuo no price no sa dia ye so no price no sa ye nye no sa aburo no aye di ye ni ayo ni atofo no na ne bua ye di.
Okay.
Now go to Adana Sen boy dia. Utu be ya obeto sen.
Na the thing I want to say they say tia ne boy no air kosoro. Ne ma na wo kototo de abaye aduane no. Den thing na
e ma ni nyina bua amunu bua anu bua tutu.
Na wo say den thing na ne boy no air koso sa.
Yes ne ma no bua ye di. Ibi wo mu koto aroro fe. Mo kuro mu tubeton so a yesi nema no nyina boye de omu okoto no kribedi a obeto obeto ama wa na no boye de.
Yeah. It is.
No point in what one hour. What said you want to enjoy? One to enjoy.
Yeah. Now.
The crab will be yaji.
Yeah.
And so go to now. What you want that crab to swallow? Will you ban a moment?
Now it is here. Say send a coffee. Go for one more ton. First one talk cocoa no. Ne bo form. Time and ne bo form no. See I to say. Ne bo costo no. Go for that so talk the same way and I say one more ton no. Numbers no air form.
Almost Cocono, no voyage. And see, I talk of Coco to now also one to the 50th express, who are 2 cities. Now, at the Anim Boma, woman, so I won't but say. Now, so says, I also sugar, sugar, and no voyage. Robber, no, I had the Cocono, and voyage. And in I had 2 society, I had on. Nani nyina so nipa no beto na wakasa usokura wonum de obeye ugura wanye ne sansoa wonye bi na wonu wumba na waji
Enti
no ema no buaye di no wotu wa mene cha wontiri nto
enti sia Coco Coco one CD ebe sen
Coco one CD bi o obe say ko bukitwa bi say
cup kitwa. Okay. Okay. Now say me talk Coco na me se me pe kose aka ho a me de wan si di ma wa kose ahina menya.
Kose kura wonya.
Eh.
Kose wan si di wonya.
Minya.
Kiti bi say. Na kwada ti wo peli kura won Coco wan si di kose wan si di enso.
Okay, it is here. Your fan say, my bound chain, me per se, menya, Adriania, ebe me anope. Sika, I have bear sana, men kuta a woman home.
So Adriania, obey. Now,
Coco, any a cocoa a situation room, any cozy.
One woman to do an active and I them over
2 cities, okay.
And I say, to pay no. And I put over tomato, to pay no 2 cities.
Okay.
I put 2 cities. Answer over to not go one now, a few. There was over 1 yeah. Yeah. I told you, open.
Wow.
Sugar.
Okay. It is here. Se me nkuta be 5 and 6 CDs mean to me nya Coco any togbe ni kulikuli abeko yi amame.
O kata 5 CD obeto obenye Coco ni ekitire ni ewe togbe ni ana akatie.
Okay. All right. You everything it has to say when you kasa. All right. Okay. So just basically for those of you who didn't understand the conversation, Abibata is just giving us a sense of what the experience is like on her end, telling us about how the ingredients, the cost of the ingredients have gone up. And there's no way to run a business like that if they don't also increase things on their end, you know. Otherwise, at the end of the day, they are running at a loss, you know. And so they definitely have to increase it. And then I asked about how much I would need to carry with me to get a decent meal. And then she says, well, if you want to be full and you want to have a pleasurable experience eating the cocoa, then you have to buy, you know, about 2 cedis worth of cocoa with sugar.
No, you mean if you are eating the cocoa, you can't be counting the spoonfuls or the sips.
I know, right?
and praying that God multiplies it in the bowl.
No. So at least 5 CDs, she says, you can get a reasonable meal, you know, of cocoa with sugar, as well as some fruit, you know, combination with some kuli there as well. Well, I'm not sure exactly, you know, the managers of our economy, how they see these things when they hear it, but it is the reality of every Ghanaian, you know, that is living in this country. This is what we have to deal with. We'll take a quick break, and Breakfast Daily will continue shortly.